Okay. So, hopefully everybody can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me see if you're chiming in. Where we at now? Okay. All right. So we're live now. So here's the thing. And this is how God works. It's hilarious. Turns out Monica Cannon and I have the same birthday. So happy birthday, Monica. And I'm going to give you a gift, and in turn give me a gift as well, because the gift that I like is truth and facts and accountability and transparency and all those good words. So what happened is people would be like, well, why is this even coming about? Well, obviously because after the video of Tito Jackson, I got a lot of feedback, some positive, some negative, so on and so forth. One of the common critiques, which I thought I cleared up at the last ones and so on and so forth, is that people constantly say, well, Jamal, you just keep coming at these black leaders and you just never come at white people. Funny story. Number one, not only have I written, I don't know how much articles and I don't know, protested in front of the Boston Police headquarters and written letters to the Department of Justice to investigate them. People think I'm not critical of the Walsh administration. I just wrote an article on him a couple weeks ago that was in the Dick Boston. We put links up to that. People still just gloss right over that, pay no attention to that. So people for some reason think that I'm just picking on black people in general, black leadership in general, and for some reason Tito in particular. And the one thing about Tito and like the persona that he has is it kind of it begs for sympathy, so that people instantly, he looks like a sympathetic type of image, and therefore anybody that's critiquing him is instantly critique themselves. Why are you picking on him? Now, people said it's personal and so on and so forth. Despite the fact of I don't know how many times I have to continue to say that it's not personal. And in fact, I just want to do a little brief thing here about, do people even know the difference between a personal attack and like, you know what I mean, like a principled or political or policy-based attack? So a principled attack could be like, man, look at you with your big head, or you stink, or I don't like you, or your feet stink, and all this type of stuff, hurling personal insults and all that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. That's not what I be doing, okay? So the stuff that I be talking about is stuff where, A, things that you have done that haven't necessarily panned out, or that I think are frivolous or don't hold the most weight, or has been things that you have not done and have been absent on. So, just to begin with that now that I've kind of laid that groundwork. Why would this happen? I would not even be talking about Monica Cannon, except for the fact that a couple days ago, January 18th to be exact, a couple of people who we have in common hit me up like, bruh, I think she's talking about you. Is she talking about you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. She and I had always been Facebook friends, despite disagreements primarily on Tito, because other than that, I really tried to not say anything. I said nothing during her entire run for state representative because she wasn't in my district. So I didn't have anything negative to say. Let me actually just go back. So then I get the messages that, I think she's talking about you. I can't see it. Right? So then what happens is people then send it to me. Right? People didn't send it to me. So now I get to see what she's talking about. And I'm like, wow. But I'm like, let me look for myself. And when I go to look up her Facebook page, which, has always been there, all of a sudden I'm blocked. So where I was thinking that maybe she's talking about, maybe she could be talking about me and an amalgamation of others. Maybe she's just talking about me, whatever. I don't know. All I know is that when I went to look for myself, because that's the type of person I am, even when people be like, yo, she might be talking about, I don't listen to that. I go look for myself. And when I was blocked, then that made me think, well, whatever whatever people have sent me must be true. Now, what y'all don't know about me, see, I turned 46 today. She turned 36 today. As I said, we have the same birthday. And what's funny as well is the fact that some of her comments have made it like I'm this old fogey stogie. I'm 46, y'all. I still rap. Mess around, I might pull out a headspin or something. I'm not some old, dude from the other. Hold on, let me just see who this is. Oh, part of self. No, that's the door. Can you answer that, please? And yeah, can you answer that door, please?
All right, be right there.
Yeah, just answer the door. Thank you. So, in any event, so the point is this. So it ends up being that there's some sort of generational disconnect, which I kind of funny because I really feel as though we're more or less like in the same genre. I mean, probably kind of like the same music. Like, so unlike what was happening with people such as myself when I was 20, critiquing people that was in their 70s, right? And saying, hey, y'all don't be listening to the youth or what have you. Here we have a closer generational, not really a gap even, but here we have a closer thing that seems to be a point of contention. Okay, so now, without further ado, please, I got people coming in. I'm gonna keep going, but yeah, grab some chairs and all that. Put all that in the thing. No.
Happy birthday.
All right, thank you, all that. Thank you. All right. So part of self, because I really want to continue on this build. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the thing itself. So the thing that I heard, what was told to me, and what was sent to me, I couldn't read, being that I'm an old guy. So what I had to do is I had to get it printed out. Okay. So what I want to do is read this. So it says, Monica Cannon, with the little winky face emoji, feeling sarcastic with Wendell Bishop and 4 others. I don't know who the other 4 others are. I know Wendell. And, once again, see, I'm accused of a lot of stuff. See, I don't do that type of stuff. So clearly she says right off the rip, Monica Cannon, I'm feeling sarcastic. And then she kikis, tags up a couple of her people. This is January 18th and 5:44 p.m. Why is it that our so-called community experts, aka keyboard gangsters, I would say leaders, but in order to lead, I would have to follow you, focus in on one black elected who is working every day in his district to attack, but totally ignore a whole administration that has done nothing for Roxbury but sell you dreams, or even the entirety of elected officials? I wonder how much it took. Are you strategically blind to the others? How does this tie into black empowerment? We are our own worst enemy, nothing but sellouts. Wave a check and we stop fighting, but won't mention the multiple calls for assistance that you received help on. I'm all for collective accountability, but personal attacks are not productive, and all you tokens high-fiving that crap are just as bad. As black people, we do politics poorly. Other races could hate each other guts, but will unify to get what they want, and they won't show you they hate each other. Not you self-righteous know-it-all Negroes. I fight with facts. Never will I mention anyone's personal life, family, or loves ones. I'm reading it exactly how it's written. Or loves ones. Only record and data. Pull all the financial records. Let's start counting. Maybe we should look at hiring dates, or maybe we should look at how much was donated to you or salary increases. So much more happens beyond turkeys, but I get it. That's all you got. Sad watching a black man tear another black man down through personal attacks. It's funny. Not one of the people whose job he saved working for the mayor, or whose rent he paid, or who be in my inbox seeking help spoke up. But I see you commenting on the negativity. Maybe we should do call out campaign 2017. You won't teach the younger generation, but be the first to criticize us. You have your own personal motivation, so you try to use young people to further your agenda. Newsflash. Anytime I help with housing, food, rent, homicide, Christmas, or what have you, it's because of the Tito Jackson Community Funds. I've been able to do more on my own with his help than I could reaching out to those who should be doing it. This is bigger than election. This is bigger than an election. But most are too ignorant to realize that. I've been in Mattapan, Dorchester, JP, and Hyde Park and heard people complain about a pothole and say, what is Tito going to do about it? When he doesn't even represent those areas. But they are clueless to who does. I guess that's the only name they recognize. Damn. Hashtag education is key. Whether you vote for him or not, anytime a man of color who is on the right side of issues attempts to progress, it should be applauded. They catch enough shit from the outside. I would hope that it takes more than a job, fried chicken, or a grant to get your vote. But who am I? Please screenshot and share because I know you will. LOL. Hashtag blind leading the blind. Hashtag my post, my page, my opinion. There's so much in there, and then there's some comments after. But I'm gonna deal with the meat of the matter first. So let's start off from the beginning. I really still can't tell if she's talking about me because, see, here's what cowards do. Cowards be busting shots, but then they don't mention names. Whereas me, I say names. I say names if you are a man. I say names if you are a woman. I say names because I want people to be clear. And I learned that just as a revolutionary tactic because, you know, we have to name the names. That comes from a brother named Steve Coakley and many others. It's not fair when you be saying, you know, they do this and them and all this. You should be very specific. And I give you permission to, anytime you have a gripe with me, feel free to use my name. Big boy, me take it, right? Not a problem. And I want people to understand that I don't deal with kind of like the stuff where they deal with, where the only thing that I can accept is public praise and you know, and just pats on the back. That's not how I operate. Critique is welcome. It's in fact encouraged. The phone number is 617-297-7721. As I said, that's good not only during the feed, but after and before, right? That's a real number attached to a real person. Critique me all day. You know, like I said, just be correct in your critique. So let's start off from the beginning. Why is it that our so-called community experts, aka keyboard gangsters, I don't know if that's referring to me, a term like a keyboard gangster, I would normally associate with somebody who like threatens people over the computer. Yo, I'ma smack you. Yo, when I see you, whoop. And then don't ever follow through on that. Or the only other thing I could think is, thank you, sir, is a person who, you know, talks a lot, like maybe on a political tip or the organizing tip, who talks a lot about stuff, but their only revolution is on Facebook or what have you. So once again, certainly not, you know, the case with me. And once again, I don't have to do a whole bunch to prove it. I mean, y'all got Google. You're watching this on a computer or on the phone or something. So what it is, you know, there's the videos to prove what I've done. Now, here's the real deal. Some of these people just ain't paying attention. Hold on, please. Some of these people just ain't paying attention. And so therefore, please. So therefore, when you're not paying attention, it's like if somebody says, well, Jamal never wrote a book. Now, it's not my fault if you don't know that I wrote 2 books. That's because you're not paying attention. If somebody says, oh, Jamal ain't never did nothing for community, and stuff that we did has been featured in everywhere that you covet, these little press outlets that you covet, they've featured it. So it's not fake news, in the words of Donald Trump. It's real stuff, real things that have happened, right? And I take no pleasure in that. I take pleasure in the thing that happened, not the coverage of that thing. But so when people start off with the whole keyboard guy, I don't even know what that means. If you're trying to call me fake, like I don't do what I say, or like whatever. My street cred is good, and, you know, just ask people. And, you know, my other cred is good too. Let's go on. I would say leaders, but in order to lead, I would have to follow you. This is where it gets deep. yo, everybody, like everybody can't follow me. If I wanted to start an army or a cult or whatever, which I don't, can't nobody ever say that Jamal Crawford tried to convert them to anything. But everybody ain't like, you couldn't follow me because I require things. So for instance, if you're here and you're not only content in being here, but confident in there and saying like, yo, I don't need no help. Like, I got this. This is what I do. That's like a level of ego and arrogance that doesn't really work well in like in a learning environment or whatnot. So, you know, I really haven't attempted to be nobody's leader. The closest thing you could come to that is the New Black Panther Party, and the people who were in the New Black Panther Party with me would even say that against protocol, I didn't even have people calling me sir and all this and za-da-da. I'm really not into that. What I'm into is getting the work done. So the whole concept of this whole leader and, you know, fake community experts, keyboard gang. Now, an expert, I will actually take that title. When I say expert, I will take the title expert only in the fact of the things that I know what I'm talking about. So for instance, when I'm talking about police, I know I'm an expert. When I'm talking about stats or something like that, I know I'm an expert because I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't know about it, unlike a lot of other people, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay, so now, and then you're going to focus on one black elected who is working every day in his district to attack but totally ignore a whole administration that has done nothing for Roxbury but sell you dreams, or even the entirety of elected officials. I wonder how much it took. Bang. Now that's just problematic on a lot of levels. One, because we've already shown, once again, maybe you're not talking about me, but if you're talking about me, clearly I have gone after not only this administration, but the past like 5. Okay, well, not 5. You got Menino, you got Flynn, you got old boy who was before that, White. I probably became active when Kevin White was mayor. So White caught it a little bit because I was young and I was joining with other people. Flynn definitely caught it. Menino sure as hell caught it. And now Walsh is catching it as well. So I don't know about this whole administration, and not the administrations, but also too the Boston police administrations as well. So you're talking about all the past commissioners. So you're talking about Evans, you're talking about Davis, you're talking about Bratton, who left, you're talking about Kathleen O'Toole, you're talking about like so many. And it's like track record. Don't believe me. I could be lying to you. I could be just faking the funk. I'm a keyboard gangster, apparently. So in any event, whatever. So that's just not true. I wonder how much it took. Now, that's the one that really kind of pissed me off. Like, I don't know if you insinuate in there like I get money or something like that, because last the record check, Miss Monica Cannon, you the one that got jobs. I don't have a job. I haven't been employed since 1997. So ever since then, I've been self-employed, and I've had little consulting jobs here and there. Believe me, nothing of of note. So I don't know what you're talking about that, how much it took. I ain't never took a check, and I'm not for sale. So now, meanwhile, you work for Tito Jackson, you work for the Tito Jackson Foundation, and your last job was with Roca, which is also much like your previous boss, Tito, has a big critique that goes beyond me. So now, while you might think that the people that you're dealing with are great and spiffy, as you would, because they employ you, could it be that other people know things that you just don't know? Because by your own admission, you just ain't been in the game that long, okay? So there's a fact that, while you might say this one's great and that one's, whatever, you also have to understand that, I'm not the only one who's criticizing Tito. You look on his own page on the day that he released his own video on his own page, which was supposed to be a victory. I waited several days. People had their own critiques on the things that I talk about on these videos. People have their own critiques. So I'm not coming for Tito like that. I mean, I'm a voter. I'm a taxpayer. I live in the district. I have a right to critique his lackluster performance, and so I shall continue to do so. You being a person that worked for him, I get it. You want to defend it. And notice you take much offense to the whole turkey thing. Okay. So blah, blah, blah. Are you strategically blind to the others? Absolutely not. We've already established that. Black, white, man, woman, they've all gotten it at some point. How does this tie into black empowerment? My vision of black empowerment is black excellence. Therefore, it's a thing. I don't know if you're familiar with this terminology called trim the fat. That what happens is that, like, people would be like, yo, it's black, so it's good for us. No, 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 no. I want to cut the bad black part out to only leave the good black part. So there's a lot of stuff, and, there's a lot of terminology going on right about now on the interwebs, talking about, coonery, buffoonery, and all these types of things like that. Sellout, which we're going to get to in a minute. But the black empowerment is that. Empowering. So mediocrity is not a part of that. And if you're not good at your job, you're not a part of black empowerment. If you're not consistent and concise and accurate in your facts or your speech or what have you, your presentation, you're not helping black empowerment. So how does this tie into black empowerment? This is black empowerment, because what I'm trying to do is weed out the bad stuff and only leave the good stuff. And what we should be dealing with in leadership is people who are qualified to lead and obviously have a desire and a inclination to want to lead. But also, too, you got to be good at it. You can't just say, oh, I want to lead, and you don't know nothing. I want to lead about medical science, and you neither a medic or a scientist. You see what I'm saying? So in any event, then it goes into this. We are our own worst enemy. Nothing but sellouts. Wave a check and we stop fighting. Once again, I don't know if she's talking about me, because I ain't got no checks. And once again, if you're talking that type of stuff, please, somebody produce a thing. And my campaign stuff is just as open, and everybody's is OCPF. So you can see where I got my money from. And furthermore, not for nothing, just because of the type of guy I am, I might not show the general public, but I would show maybe like a reverend or something. That maybe I trust, or, somebody that I trust. I have no problem. I'll print out my own my personal bank statements and show them. Y'all ain't going to see it because I know how y'all scammers get down. All right. So in any event, so wave a check, we start fighting. But nothing but sellouts. I take umbrage to that. I never been called a sellout in my life. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, but won't mention the multiple calls for assistance that you received help on. Now, clearly, I think now she's talking about like the outside people, and she feels betrayed because, once again, a lot of the work that she and he does is really not about the work. It's about personal recognition. They want y'all to hoist them up on their shoulders and carry them through the city and pat them on the back and say, yo, what a great job you did, and blah, 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 blah. So, granted, I'm not saying that the city councilor has never done nothing. In fact, what I said before is that what happens is that sometimes you have an individual thing that happens. Okay, you took care of Miss Johnson's lights. You got her lights back on. Great. You paid people's rent. I don't know. I would actually probably push back on that. Has Tito paid somebody's rent? I don't know, because Tito said he couldn't afford a district office, which was one of them campaign promises that he made. So as he paid people's rent, I don't want to doubt it, but I'm just going to say I would really want to push back on that. But in any event, so I'm all for a collective accountability, she says, but personal attacks are not productive. Now, everything I've read before, did that kind of sound personal to y'all? Because the term sellout, right? Keyboard gangsters, insinuating, I wonder how much it took, nothing but sellouts, wave a check and we stop fighting, and then goes into, I'm all for collective accountability, but personal attacks are not productive. Okay? And then continues right into the personal attack. And all you tokens high-fiving that crap are just as bad. I'm all for collective accountability, but personal attacks are not productive. And all you tokens, as black people, we do politics poorly. Okay, other races could hate each other. That's also another myth. The myth is that black people are the only people who are disunified, and white people never fight each other. They give each other flowers and Valentine's candy, and it's just not true. I've seen knockdown, drag-out fights between white people as well. Oh, matter of fact, just Google, some of them. Google Turkish Parliament. Okay? Google Turkish Parliament. Okay? They brawling in their state house. They brawling in their Congress house. So let's not continue with the myth. Because, see, how does that help black empowerment? When we spread, once again, I'm all about facts. No, you're not. You're in fact all about not facts, unfacts, non-facts, right? Because this is the type of stuff you talk about. Other races get together. It's just us poor, stupid blacks. We do it poorly. So who's castigating black people, me or you? When we can see multiple examples, and obviously I don't even want to go back in history, but if we do historically, you got European kings that would kill their son if he looked at him the wrong way. That little dude looking at me like he want to be king one day. Huh? So let's not play around with this, okay? So we do politics poorly. Other races could hate each other's guts, but they come together. Lies. But not you self-righteous, know-it-all Negroes. Well, you certainly told us, Miss Thang. I fight with facts. That is, in fact, not a fact. And if you look at some of the things that I put up there before, I'm going to go to some of the facts that Miss Cannon spit. Now my thing is gone. Well, one fact was what she said, Miss Monica Cannon said, when she just had a recent interview with Channel 25 while talking about the violence in the city. She just recently said that how could she trust the word of the city, the administration, and the police department in terms of their response to violence when multiple shootings occur on her street multiple times a day, every day. Do y'all understand what I just said there? She said that multiple shootings occur. Oh, yeah, here you go. Oh, no, okay. I thought you were finding the other one. But she said that on that Channel 25 interview, she didn't know how to take the administration serious with their commitment against violence because, peace, bro. Because on her street, multiple times a day, multiple shootings happen every day. That's just a fallacy. That's just a fallacy. But you rock with that. Give you another example. On her own Facebook page that I can't see no more because I've been blocked, of course. Thank you, by the way. There was another thing where she had begun to castigate Eugene Rivers and his connection to 10-point program and the Boston Ministerial Alliance and whatnot. And then later, and kudos to her, she later came back a day or two later and had to apologize and say, not apologize, but had to correct herself and say that, hey, y'all, I got the info wrong the other day. And in fact, Eugene Rivers was a early founder of the 10-point, but then he has stepped away or whatever. And so that's my point. Because a minute ago, you was going in, but you didn't even know what you're talking about. And you don't know the history. And regardless of the fact that, once again, I just turned 46, you just turned 36, happy born day. We got 10 years between us. But once again, you're not 21, 22. So some people want to be adults and then feign ignorance. Like, oh, on the one hand, I'm grown and I know what I'm talking about. But then when you're wrong, be like, well, I haven't been around that long. Well, then you shouldn't have been speaking. And that's the point. If everybody just stay in the lane and only state what you know, then we'll be good. So, first of all, little stuff like that. I fight with facts. I just proved to you that that is, in fact, not a fact. She just said every day on her street, she lives over there by Warren Gardens, I won't say what street, but that every day on her street, multiple shootings occur multiple times a day, every day. That don't occur nowhere in Boston, just to let you know. I fight with facts, though. Reverend Eugene Rivers, this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. But then you wrong. But you fight with facts, though. Got you. Never will I mention anyone's personal life, family, or loved ones. Only record and data. I haven't done that. Only time I've mentioned anybody's family was to be complimentary. So that hasn't happened. Then we go to the financial records and let's look at all the hiring dates. And maybe we should look at how much was donated to you or your salary increases. Now, I don't know, once again, what you're talking about, if you're even talking about me, but I'm more than willing. Please, go look up. Everybody, once again, OCPF. Go Google OCPF. This is where you go see everybody's campaign finances. You go see all of mine. You go see all of Tito's. You go see all of anybody's that you want to go look at. Go look at Monica Cannon's. Go look at everybody's. That's what it's a public record. You're not doing anything sneaky, folks. It's public. Okay. So much more happens beyond turkeys, but I get it. That's all you got. No, I get it. That's all you got, because that's what y'all keep harping on. Okay. And that's where the initial offense comes in. And it's such a personal thing because people just want the praise so bad that any piece of critique is just like, oh my God, you offended the white baby Jesus. I'm talking about real stuff from an elected official and his staff that is way on board. I give people that with my life, and I'm a private citizen. Okay? So now, sad watching a black man tear another black man down through personal attacks. Once again, please, somebody identify something I said that was personal. Did I crack on his lineup? No. Did I call him a Bigfoot boogie bear? No. None of that. No name calling, no nothing, no nothing. So personal attacks, once again, this is part of the problem. I don't think people understand the words that they be using. I don't think they understand what a personal attack is. It's funny, not one of the people whose job he saved, working for the mayor, or whose rent he paid, or who be in my inbox seeking help spoke up. But I see you commenting on the negative. Maybe we should do Call Out Campaign 2017. Once again, this is a straight symptom of a person that is mad that y'all, whoever they done helped out there in TV land, that she is so upset that you don't credit and praise and just heap the praise on them all day. Okay? So if any of you who, you know, they helped out, I mean, certainly wasn't me, but apparently whoever liked what I had to say or disagreed with Tito or doesn't think he's a viable candidate or whatever. And so just let me tell you, if you are in her inbox seeking help, you can already see she will violate your confidence over pride and ego. That's ego, folks. Lego my ego. All right. So in the years that I've done all that, I ain't never going to do nothing like that. That's why people be all up in my inbox talking about they want food. Oh, but you be commenting on that. I wish I would do that to somebody who liked something that Tito said, but now because I'm doing something that now it's just so whack. It's so whack. It's so whack. So she says, maybe we should do Call Out Campaign 2017. Not only maybe you should do it, I insist that you do it. Call it out. And not only that, I give you full carte blanche. Put me on the stake, boo. I'm wet. I'm so open. It's okay. But the only thing is I do ask that you do the same thing that I do, which is I look at me and then I look at somebody else. So just look at your own self before you do that. Now, you won't teach the younger generation, but be the first to criticize us. You have your own personal motivation, so you try to use young people to further your agenda. Once again, I don't know if she's talking to me, but I'm going to act as if she is and just speak on my situations with, you know, whatever. Won't teach the younger generation. Once again, 10 years younger than me. Any conversations that I've had with Monica has always been me trying to help her. Many of y'all who are on the Facebook, go back. It's there unless she, you know, cut it out now. When she started posting this thing, about violence, one of the very first things I said was, hey, you want to turn this into something? She was like, yup. I was like, okay, holla. You think she hollered? Nope. Now, all I do is build websites and databases and, you know, along with all my peoples and whatnot. So all I'm saying is that I did make the offer. It is, in fact, a thing that's there. And it's her who did not holler back. And I'm talking about that was like 3 weeks she ain't holler. Okay? I wasn't waiting by the phone like, oh, she gonna call? I'm saying like she ain't holler because she didn't see it valuable. Next thing, let's go on. Anytime she's made a post on Facebook that has been factually incorrect, I've tried to send a note and be like, hey, what did you mean by that? Like the day that she was so proud to be on Fox 25 when she spouted that thing that said, every day, you know, multiple times a day, there's a shooting, several shootings, multiple shootings on my street every day. So whenever she said that thing, I hit her up and I was like, hey, can you give us some clarification? Because that don't sound right. What did you mean by that? No response. Okay. When she began to run for office and was around some other people that I know, I hit them up with basic stuff, questions, because I was not convinced, and still to this day I'm not convinced, that the district that you ran for, I'm not even convinced that you knew the numbers of the voters or the population of that district. I'm not convinced you understood. You were trying to go to the state house. I'm not sure that you understood what legislation was. I'm not convinced that you understand what legislation is today. I don't know if you know the functions of what a state representative is. And not for nothing, I was not for the other side either. China Taylor, both to me were lackluster candidates. Now that the election's over and I could, say my true thoughts. But I stayed out of it at the time because it's not my district. It's not my district. So I minded my business. But in fact, just based on the campaign materials or the stuff that I saw, I asked Monica all the time, do you have a platform? She kept saying she was going to have a platform. It was coming. Never came. Okay? So with all this talk about facts and this and that, so do a call-out campaign, please. Put me first and then put you second. All right? And you won't teach the younger generation. You can't, I can't force you and make you learn stuff you don't want to learn, and not for nothing. Let's go back. You ain't learned basics. Like on Facebook, your little name, is Queen Organizer. Does that speak to you at all about ego at all? Do you feel that might be a little bit like a highfalutin title that you kind of bestowed upon yourself, based on very little tangible, deliverable work? I don't know if this thing is going out. I hope it's not. But in any event, I'm going to wrap up soon anyway because I'm almost done. But in any event, so anytime I help with housing, food, rent, homicide, Christmas, or what have you, it's because of the Tito Jackson Community Fund. Ain't nobody ever been saying that it's a bad thing. I'm glad that y'all do that. I'm glad that you give out turkeys. Maybe you didn't hear the critique. The critique is that you give out turkeys one day a year, so that if you're patting yourself on the back for the work, all I'm saying is there's lots more work to be done. Okay, and all I'm saying is that anything else you did also, too, notice this. Anytime that you were doing anything like this, you had a job. You were getting paid to do it. So that's very different. See, because what you do from 9 to 5 is not what I do from 5 to 9, right? So it's a lot different. I don't have a job doing any of this, despite the checks and the money you might think I get. I don't get that. You know what I mean? God, thank you that there's been some people who have given on, but I don't take a salary. All that goes straight back into that. Believe that. And I got witnesses and documents to prove it. Blah, blah, blah. People talking about asking Tito, in JP, Dorchester, and Hyde Park, and asking him what he's going to do about fixing the pothole. That's because they feel more close to Tito than his own district does. Yeah, because he's more likely to do something for Hyde Park, JP, Mattapan, or whatever than his own district. Because the people around here, a lot of people don't know him. The ones who do know him and like him, it's based on nothing that has any kind of criteria to it. It's just, yo, I like him. Yo, he's a good dude. You see all that stuff in the banner? Everybody's like, yo, he's a good dude. Yeah, I like him. He's a nice guy. Ain't nobody talking about pointing to nothing that he's done, because you can't. And even yourself can't. After the turkeys, it's a wrap. And so the stuff like, helping people with their apartments and all that, good. Welcome to constituent services in D7. If you did any of that, that's great. But once again, I'm just going to point, don't listen to my critique. Listen to the fact that there are too many people who are echoing the sentiment. What do you think? I'm paying these people to agree with me? No, you got old ladies telling you Tito sucks. Well, pardon me, Tito's not good. You got young people saying Tito's not good. You got parents saying Tito's not good. You got union organizations saying Tito's not good. Now, granted, y'all definitely have a strong group of sycophants within your thing who think that Tito is going to be the magic unicorn to deliver you something, and that, somehow, some crumbs going to fall off the table and make it happen. But it's based on nothing, because there's been nothing tangible or deliverable that he's delivered to the district. And y'all just got to face that fact. Okay, now we're almost done here. So, blah, 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 blah. So whether you vote for him or not, anytime a man of color who's on the right side of the issues attempts to progress, it should be applauded. Yes, it should be. But this is not a black man who has been, on the right side of issues attempting to progress. So let's look at all the tough stuff. Has Tito advocated for any piece of police reform? Has Tito, and don't give me the body cameras thing, because that's not his issue. Once again, perpetual piggybacker he is. All right? Is Tito talking about, is he pushing the envelope, or is he just kind of holding don't rock the boat, don't tip the boat over status? All right? Is he talking about civilian review board? Is he pushing any legislation at the state house level, or is he taking credit for other people's? Right? What are we doing here? So, and then she has the nerve to use the hashtag education is the key, or education is key. Yeah. So, they catch enough shit from the outside. Boo-boo, Tito don't get death threats. Do you understand that I was the Boston chapter chairman and the national minister of information for the new Black Panther Party, and you got the nerve to talk about people catch enough shit from the outside? You ain't never caught shit like I caught shit. I got a shitty mitt. A shitty catcher's mitt. You kidding me? Tito don't get crap. In fact, he gets applauded and lauded, and he gets a pass because he's a nice guy after all. Okay? So let's not act like he's under fire from the real heavy powers to be, like he needs to bulletproof the Prius or something like that. That's not what's popping. Okay? I would hope that it takes more than a job, fried chicken, or a grant to get your vote. But who am I? Please, and then here's the part that kills me. Please screenshot and share because I know you will. LOL. Yeah, right. So if that's the case, why be a coward, and why not put my name in it if you're talking to me? Or why not tag me in it like I'd be doing Tito? And I've always left you alone. But you put yourself in it. Why? Because you have a very large ego. Now let's go to the comments. Worth sharing. How sad. Let this man be great. Right, because I'm stopping Tito from being great. I'm the one who has stopped Tito from seriously combating criminal justice reform, police brutality, the police killing of civilians, the education areas, all this, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm the one preventing from Tito from being great. Okay, that's one. Then Monica chimes into that comment. Yeah, because it's sad. I get that. Not everyone will agree or vote for you, but the personal attacks is crazy. Then they only tell part of the story. Won't mention that he helped you get yours kids back or paid your light bill because not nan one of the other electeds are doing that. Facts. 100, 100, 100. Once again, must be talking about somebody else because, yeah, it just can't be me. I don't know. So now her own cousin says, oh, wait, so Tito is not my Dorchester rep? Do anyone in my neck of the woods know who is? Sarcasm, Monica Cannon. Somebody else types in PC Socrates, and who must not know what Socrates is and might want to look that up. It's sad, honestly. People disagree all the time, but the personal attacks are crazy. And I can't help but think it comes from self-hate. They never learn to separate the problem from the person. Once again, I've continually dispelled and disputed these things. These are not personal attacks. I think that people really do not understand what the term personal attacks means. They never learn to separate the problem from the person. That's all that I have done here. So then he goes on, self-hate is the key word. Unfortunately, because you're right, the white people will fight like cats and dogs, but then stand up together for the same cause. Reality is the folks' motivation is wrong from the get-go. So whenever somebody like you comes and show slight, it exposes light. It exposes they dark. I can't, so many misspellings. It exposes they darknesses, and they hate it. Easy to attack Tito, but don't say shit about the murders in the community unless it's by a white cop. Shaking my head. Once again, another crazy assumption. I don't never say nothing about violence in the community unless it's by a white cop. Cats had a whole thing on that for 2 years. I've been active on that since I've been 16. We talking about 30 years, Jack. What are you talking about? Hey, look, y'all. I got shot. Did you get shot? I got shot. So I'm trying to tell you something, and you ain't listening to me. Wow, that's deep. But you be working for victims, huh? Did you know I was a victim? Nah, you probably never asked. Probably never thought about it. Probably never gave a crap. It's okay. I don't need your pity. I don't need your support. What I do need is for you to be on point. And Monica loves to, respond to everything with facts, 100. And they go on and they go on and they go on. Okay, so that's it. So I've been called a keyboard gangster, personal attacks. I'm a sellout. I get money, all this type of stuff. Just to recap, meanwhile, we're dealing with a sister who on videos, and please somebody post up what I posted up, the press conference. Y'all just go look at the press conference she did, and you tell me if you feel as though she's a master at what it is that she's working on. All right. She talks about she's educating the community on violence. No, you have a Facebook page where you post every incident of violence, which is more like a police blotter. You're not really educating people on violence per se. And when you say stuff like on your Facebook page, like Queen Organizer, like, we need to see things that you've organized besides things that you did like as part of a job. And also too, once again, you worked for the Tito Jackson Foundation. So that was your thing. And now I heard you're starting a new thing called the Love Something or Ever. But like, damn, I didn't just feel the love when you just went on a tirade with me and then so cowardly blocked me. See, at least, and your boss will tell you that. I keeps it real. Before I even went in on him, I called him. You ain't called me. I put up a thing before I even did this. Can somebody please have Monica call me? What was that, 2 days ago? You ain't called in. You didn't call when I tried to help you. And then you talk about people won't teach you because you don't want to learn. Because you're stubborn. And even your own circle now is leaving you because you're hard-headed and you won't learn. So you're stuck in your ways. You think you know everything. And so, go ahead. It's not, not for nothing. Those of us who've been paying attention, this is not the first time we've seen this type of personality come. Unfortunately for you, we've seen this movie. We know what the end is. And you're going to crash and burn. You're shooting your pinky toe off. All right? You're burning your own bridges. You're making yourself look not stable. All right? Because you're spouting this misinformation. You're doing it in a not professional manner. The press conference was terrible. Press conference, and I don't even understand. Oh, look. Monica Cannon reacted to your video with a heart. Great. I guess she unblocked me to look at the video. Hi, Monica. Happy birthday. Look how these people do. Anyway. And people say I'm petty. So anyway. So I kicks the real Willie Bobo. 617-297-7721. What does Jamal's t-shirt say? It's the thing I was talking about from the police made by Scope. It's the warning poster. Caution colored people of Boston. Blah, 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 blah. So, so thank you for the definition of the personal attack. Once again, Dave, if you're up and you're doing this, please, I'll take any phone calls if anybody has them for a couple minutes. I'm only going to stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes. Anybody got any calls? 617-297-7721. Please give me a call, and we're about to be wrapping it up. And then also, too, anybody who saw the additional post that I put up there of Monica in her own words, the quote from Channel 25 and the press conference. I didn't put no spit on the game. I just put it out there as it is. Y'all should see it. You have your own analysis, and everything I had to say is said here in regards to her, Tito, and not for nothing. I'm all for going after fake leadership, but I ain't the one. I'm just not the one. All right? So is anybody else... does anybody have a phone call? 617-297-7721. 617-297-7721. I'll wait for a couple minutes, and then I'm about to be out on y'all. Because it's my birthday. And Rihanna brought me some cake. See what I did there? All right, nobody got a phone call. 617-297-7721. Oh, let me say this on the last note too. Once again, getting critiqued a whole bunch on the whole you don't go at the white leadership and you don't go at the white administration. Once again, I've proven that's just false and whatever. But what I do want to point out is, watch this. The first video I did on Tito, which was the first live video I've ever done, that joint got like 2,000 views off rip. But then the funny thing is, then the next video I do is on the Boston police, pretty white, pretty big institution, and it has literally half of the views. So is it me or is it you? Okay? Yes, hold on. Let me put you on speakerphone. Hold on. Okay, peace, sister. How you doing? You live?
Good.
Tell the people your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Hafiz, and I'm calling from Warren Gardens, and I'm tired of the lies. And I didn't see this Fox, whatever they call those things, whatever she was talking about.
Be specific. Let me know what you're talking about.
When she was talking about all the shooting and everything going on here every day on her block.
Right. Yeah. That's just. I think she messed up, but she didn't own it.
Messed up. No, she's messed up, and I'm terribly sorry. No, I'm not sorry about what I'm going to say because I'm tired. She's downgrading our development here. We have board members. We have board meetings. She never shows up to any of them to voice her concerns or anything that's going on here. We have safety meetings with the police department. She never shows up to voice any of her concerns here, any shooting going on. My window is right across from her house, by her house. I don't hear any shooting going on over there. The last one I heard was on Rockland Street, and that might have been September.
And how long you been there and been active? Because I know you and I know Miss Sherry and all them. You've been doing this for how long?
I've been living in Warren Gardens for 20 years. And I've been on the board maybe 18 or 19 years. Her and Tito conveniently backlash us, down us, but they never, whenever we ask them to come meet with our leaders here and our organization, our board members here, they never show up. They've always come walk around, and they somehow pick the rebel rousers that are here. That's it. Nothing, no matter what you do, there's always something wrong with it. And they never come to us. So they're committing. Well, not committing. Let me think. She's a liar. That's all. She's a liar. She sounds good. When she was running, she said that her and somebody named what's her name? Oh God, the lady of the church, Liz Walker, got rid of our past management. Regarding stuff that they were doing. There was no wrongdoing here. That was just you people coming up with lies on good people, like you said. I'm not going to call her name, but on good people that are in the community, that have done for the community, that are known in the community for years, and probably before she was born. All of a sudden, you're going to rise up out of the dust. And like you said, 36 years old, you're going to rise up out of the dust, and you're going to be the great I am. You're not. You're not. You can come to me. You can confront me, because I'm going to confront you. I just don't like standing out in the public, back and forth with nobody.
Now, let me ask you this. Let me just ask you this, sister, because there's a whole generational thing, about, ageism and all this. And whereas, I'm 46 and then people of your generation and whatnot feel like there's a disconnect. And then the 20-year-olds feel like there's a disconnect. Me, I've been the type of person, I get along great with a bunch of quote unquote elders, right? But I recognize, like anything else, there's good elders and there's elders that are worth something and about something. And then there's bad elders and elders that ain't worth nothing.
Yep.
And the same for the young people, right?
That's right. That's right. But the encouragement, I commend her on being able to get up in front of the TV and the public and making up stuff and sounding real good. And I say to the people that endorsed her when she was running, they don't know the whole story. Fabrication is terrible. You know what I mean? When you agree to it or agree with it. I'm not denouncing or anything on anybody, but I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of her continuously talking about how bad Warren Gardens is when you don't never show up to any one of our meetings, any one of our venues to talk about what's really going on. You talk against us real bad, and that's bad. And for me, if you felt like that, then we got security here. I'm sitting here now, right here. I don't hear nothing going on. Nobody shooting nothing.
I mean, not for nothing. I've been to a bunch of the meetings you've had over there. I mean, I've even been to the festivities, and ate food, and before that, you let me use the spots for meeting space and what. So I know y'all have been active. And I mean, if anybody don't think it's active, look at the red, black, and green flag that's posted up on the corner.
Okay.
Hey, I got another caller. Let me go and take this other caller.
Thanks, though, but this is really good. I commend you on doing this, and we need to call people out, and maybe by the grace of God, they'll get right and realize we use the power to work for us and not against us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Peace, sister. Hello? Oh, dog, I missed that call. I'm going to try to see who that was and call back. I'm going to try to call back.
We got food for you.
I know.
You know how to turn the oven on.
Oh, the oven. You know how to turn the oven on. I'll be right there.
No, I gotta heat something up.
I'll be there in 2 seconds.
You said that 20 minutes ago.
No, really, because I'm about to wrap up. All right, y'all. So I think that is about it. Unless anybody else got some pressing questions, I think that's important. Once again, to note that some of these things that are brought in, that are said that, it's this way or it's that way, and then somebody else, or it's only Jamal who has these issues, it's personal, and then somebody else would echo the issues. If I say Tito's constituent services are poor, and then other people from the community say, yeah, he never called me back either, he don't attend this meeting, he didn't do that. I mean, it can't be both. So all I'm saying is, and once again, it's not personal, right? But once again, we have to develop a criteria. I'm going to call it a BS detector, okay? And people like Jesus, whose real name was Yeshua, in the Bible, said, by their fruits, you shall know them. So, this is what it is, all right? So this is real. And, anybody out there on Facebook, once again, 617-297-7721. You can call me today, tomorrow, whenever. It don't have to just be live. You got a question, you got an issue, hit me up. Feel free. I give you perpetual permission. Say my name and whatever you want to say. Just be right. I'm the dude that ran for office and put my own wanted poster out. Keyboard gangster that I am. I got a wanted poster out. You didn't get it. But in any event, I'm the dude that admits everything and told people about my past and told people about this and that. And then on the other hand, I can't be this horrible, terrible person if I have some of the people that we look up to and admire who say that, Jamal, he's a solid dude. So it can't be both, So I think that we should just, take note of that, understand what it is, real recognize real, and, as I said in one of my rap lyrics, you don't be building with the gods, you be faking with the frauds. All right. So a lot of these people who talk it, let's just keep it to the script. And when they say stuff like they dealing with facts, but then you could pull out 5 things where they done said 5 things completely wrong. We just can't. I'll end on this because I actually meant to talk about that too. Stefana said yesterday was Women's Day. People going to say you attacking a black woman who does work in the community. What do I say about that? I say I don't care. Because every day, anybody could get it. If you wrong, you wrong. I spend too much of my time building up, defending black women. Too many black women in this community would know how I came for them. When I'm feeding people in the community, it's primarily black women and children that I'm dealing with. So this is not an attack on a black woman. This is an attack on wrongness. Okay? This is an attack on just fallacy. Okay? So that's what we're doing here. It's not any personal. We're dealing with truth and reality versus that other stuff they be dealing with, which rhymes with duckery. All right? Holla back. Peace.